Hello everybody and welcome to another candidate Q&A where you get the opportunity to meet some of your candidates in this year's leadership race election. So we're going to say hello to them shortly and you'll get to hear some of their responses on questions that we've had submitted by students. But first of all, quickly to tell you, my name is Jamie Robertson. I'm the Deputy Returning Officer for your elections at your Students' Union. So I'm basically the elections person. If you're a third year, you may have had the mispleasure of having to watch me and things like this already, so sorry about that. And I'll be asking the questions and taking your three candidates today through their first ever, I think, kind of question and answer experience. So bear with them, let them take time and don't feel the pressure of this unusual situation. The dinosaur won't be set upon you, don't worry. So that's probably enough of me talking. Shall we start at this end? And if you just want to introduce yourself before we get into questions.
I'm Sok, she, they. My slogan is amplify your voice. That's it.
Well done, you did a good job. It's always hardest going first.
Hello, my name's Chloe, my pronouns are she, they, and my slogan is Design the Future with Chloe.
Hi, I'm Natasha, my pronouns are she, her, and my slogan is Strong Communities Start Within.
Strong work. You're in. First one done. There you go, you can relax now. There you go. So what we'll do, I'll ask the first question. So we've got a couple of questions that you're all going to get the same question to start with, and then you'll get a different question each afterwards. So we'll go back down the line now. You'll get the first question, Natasha. So, what from your manifesto do you think the union should prioritise in the coming year?
Oh, so many. The main thing for me, and that's because my background and what I study, is my first pillar, which is student-led safety. So because we're an open campus and we're in Stoke, born and bred here, so I know everything to do with sort of crime and safety issues we have being an open campus, and I think we should prioritise bringing students, security staff, staff in general, and the University Police Liaison Officer, which we're really fortunate to have here, together and get them on the same page and an easier way for them to communicate. Because I do think there's a little bit of a divide right now. So that's the main thing, I think. Prioritising the safety of the students.
Great. Lovely. Thank you. Well done. It's always weird for me asking the questions because I feel like we should have more of a conversation. Anyway, but thank you. Great answer on safety. So, Chloe,
I would say that 2 points would mesh together for this one. A lot of my manifesto runs off the concept of funding and sort of fixing the areas where that's lacking, and also the general student engagement side of the university, such as events and general course satisfaction and things like that. Being able to distribute that funding correctly to those areas, as well as having free events to help then promote onto paid events through finding out what students actually want to engage in, is probably where I'd prioritise my opinion on things. Because yes, claiming that funding is a problem is great, but you need to get the money first to be able to then fix the funding and distribute it equally.
thank you. And then finally, Sok.
Really? I think the area that I'm most passionate about and that I would love if the union would carry on, even if I didn't get it, would be focusing on the academic rep system and improving the avenues that students could have their voice heard. So I know a lot of people around the uni maybe aren't sure who their course reps are, who their subject reps are. So promoting that, creating more avenues for students to talk to those people, and then protecting things like course committee so that students always have their say.
Brilliant. Great. Well done. There's your first actual question done as well. Yeah, well done.
God, we're so hyped.
Great, so this is the second question now that you get asked, and you'll obviously get the same question, but if you do need me to repeat it, just let me know. I should have said that at the start. So we'll go back down now, so we'll go to you first for this one. So brace yourself, brace yourself. So how do you think your manifesto can help offer diversity and vibrancy to all of our students in events and support, etc.?
One of my focuses, aside from student voice, which I think does play into that because if you give students a voice, you can then obviously find out about all the other issues and then work towards that. One of my other focuses is accessibility, so that's bringing in BSL for officer training, also offering those resources to students so nurses can potentially engage in that as well. For events, not entirely sure. I'd love to hear what students want, and I think listening to the students is what would be best.
Right, thanking you. Same question.
Essentially along the same lines, in all honesty. One area that I've also sort of focused my attention on is similar accessibility around the campus instead. For instance, the new student village. Obviously, there's no changing that that's happened. It's going to happen, and while I have my own strong opinions on why they've done that, one area that I've seen a lot of people worried about is people with disabilities or impairments trying to get to their lectures or to shops. If you're in a wheelchair and you're in the nice new deluxe studios, you've now got to possibly travel 25 minutes to get to your lectures if you're trying to get to just Catalyst, let alone Cadman. Likewise for events and things like that. While the events are great and in my opinion quite accessible to a lot of different range of students, I do feel like there should be more in terms of pushing for collaborations between societies and between the ability to sort of share and communicate. One area I'm part of Assassins is the accessibility within that society. A lot of that society is running around and shooting each other with Nerf guns. However, there's a lot of communication on where do you draw a line at certain abilities and disabilities to make it accessible for everyone. And I feel like being able to have a bit more of an opinion from what students want to make them a lot more fun and engaging for everyone that is involved at the university would greatly impact student satisfaction rate.
Right, thank you. And then same question for you.
Yeah, it's a great question. So my second pillar of my manifesto is called belonging and inclusion, and there's two parts to this. So in terms of events, I plan to do a Staffordshire Pride Week, and that's to improve visibility for the LGBTQ communities, and that includes big and loud parades, but also educational workshops, so allyship workshops, hate crime awareness. We've got a lot of lecturers here who have such good knowledge on these things, and offering that to students, a free workshop, I think could be really, really good. And then also, and it's something I've done in the past in my previous studies, was implementing rooms for things like pumping for mothers, because we do have that on campus. We have young mums on campus, and it comes from a friend of mine who didn't have anywhere to go and express. So along the same lines of prayer rooms and things like that, I think we do need a space for that. So yeah, I do focus quite heavily on it in my manifesto. I think it's really important.
Brilliant. Well done. Thank you. You're stomping through here. You're all doing very well. Everybody's always very nervous about this, but you're doing a really great job. So, thank you very much. Really great answers. So now we'll move to a kind of unique question that you'll get each randomly selected from my little list here that I've got assembled in my course rep, which I'm not a course rep, but it's very on brand and nice. So we'll go back to you, Natasha, if that's all right. What would you say are the three most important qualities in a leader?
Oh,
I know, one of those
that's quite a strong
questions.
question. The ability to listen, I think it's a given. You've got to listen to the people that you're representing. Because if you're not listening to them, what are you doing? So yeah, and I think a big quality, and you can see in someone, is when they are actively listening and they're not just kind of waiting for their opportunity to speak and to preach. And I think, especially now campaigning, some people can, and me myself, can come across as quite preachy because like, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, but actually getting that constructive criticism, even though my manifesto is almost already done, if someone was to say to me, well actually I don't like that, then don't be offended by it, take it, my courses. It's policing, so no one likes it anyway. So I'm quite used to like constructive criticism and yeah. So listening, I think was it three?
Three. Yes, the three most important qualities in a leader.
Being confident. I know a lot of people struggle with things like anxiety, myself included, but I think it speaks a lot for someone if they do suffer with that and still put themselves out there. I think it's a great quality to have. The third one, I think they're all kind of tied to each other. I'm going to be such a stickler now and say punctuality. I'm the type of person who's very, very organised and things like that. So showing up, being at events, especially with having manifestos and things you've got to meet, I think being visible, that if you can't meet it on a deadline, say it. Let people know. Being completely visible with the students, I think, goes a long way. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Well done. So we'll come to you next.
Oh God.
Do you have any new ideas to help enhance course representation?
Oh, interesting. So one thing that the university has begun to do is close off a lot of courses and make a lot of staff that are very much required for courses redundant. And I feel like a lot of the student and staff are separated. I think it could be a rather good and encouraging idea to have more student engagement within the field of the lecturing sort of aspect of things. One thing that cartoon and comics does quite a lot is in an area that you might be more confident in, you can then organise a lecture for people to attend if they feel they're lacking in that area. While that's great for a smaller course, there's a lot of different courses in the art field, for instance, that could do with that as an option. So possibly utilising that and making it more accessible for multiple different courses could always be quite good. So essentially just a bit more communication between all the courses. Again, probably a lot more collaboration between the courses could always be fun too. Concept art and cartoons could do absolutely amazing. Same with 3D, I think 3D could work quite well. But not even just on the art side of things. You could very easily collaborate the courses into other areas, like your psychology courses. For instance, doing graphic designs for them, for their work, or the nursery, for instance, we could always do a lot more work with the nursery students and get them more involved with the university. But yeah, I don't really know where else to go with that, in all honesty. It's quite a hard one.
No, good answers all round. Thank you. So sorry, come to you finally. What do you feel that the university needs to prioritise for learning and teaching as we go into the next academic year?
Oh.
We all have the same reaction.
Well,
think about that one.
you've not seen the questions before, that's
No.
kind of the point, so don't worry.
Can
you
I
just
say
go
come
back?
maybe?
No, you can't Google it.
Can I go get a tea?
No.
What should they prioritise? I think I'm gonna stick to my preach and say student voice. Getting students very well. We have midpoint feedback, which we've started integrating into lessons as well. So you'll give your midpoint feedback. They come back and go, this is good, this is good, this is good. We're going to change this. This is why we've done it. If like there's negative things, this is why we've done it, and just being really transparent. So I think focusing on transparency, communications that properly get to students, and encouraging student voice and giving platform to students.
Great, well done, thank you. I'm going to look off camera towards Maxi and say, do you think we've got time for like another round of questions, or are we on a par with the length of our other Q&As?
We're pretty similar to yesterday
We're pretty
so far.
similar. As much as you're having fun being grilled by me and having questions
They're
thrown
having the
at
hot
you.
seat.
Yeah, the kind of cool, welcoming, warm seat of your students' union. But well done. It wasn't that scary, was it? I told you. So what we'll do before I kind of sign off and give some more information about voting and the election, if you want to sign off and say goodbye briefly as you introduce yourself at the start, we'll run through you and let you do that, and then I'll wrap up with some election information as well. Okay, so Sock, do you want to wave?
I was Sock Pope. Amplify your voice on April 28th by voting. Vote for anyone, just vote.
Hello, as I said before, my name was Chloe. No, is Chloe. Who am I?
Your name.
Who am You can design the future with me on the 28th of April, and you can also find all of my manifesto and other resources to do with what I'm fighting for on Vote for Close Staffs on Instagram.
Hi, I'm Natasha again. I'm meant to say bye, not hi. But yeah, if you believe stronger communities start within, and what that means is bringing staffs together, whether that be Stafford, London or Stoke, then vote for me. You can find my website with all my manifesto points through the posters that should be around soon. Just scan the QR code and check out my points. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. So they've kind of picked me to it, but voting opens tomorrow when this Q&A will be released. So voting is open from Tuesday the 28th of April up to Thursday the 30th of April. Opens 10 AM, closes at midnight, and results will be announced on Friday the 1st of May during and in person at our We Are Staffs Awards, but also live streamed via our YouTube channel from, I'm going to say, 7 PM onwards, around that time. But keep your eyes peeled for the stream anyway. We'll of course be announcing who's elected as your full-time officer team next year, alongside who's going to be your subject reps and student group committee leaders as well. So thank you very much for watching. Well done to our candidates and happy voting.